Alright, g'day everyone and welcome back to another episode of Explores Tips and Tricks. Now on this episode we're talking 12 volt. It's a little bit of a review video. I'm going to run you through the REDARC RedVision system that we've been running in the 79 series cruiser for about the last 12 months. Now I spent all of 2021 doing a lap around Australia, and the RedVision was sort of the hub, the center, all of our 12 volt and switching for our Canopy setup. So let's get stuck straight in and I'll run you through some of the details and sort of how it performed and what we used it for while living on the road. All right, well here we go guys. Now look, I've run a multiple of different sort of 12 volt systems over the last 10 years while weekend touring. I did a couple of really big 3-4 month trips out of the back of my 76. In the 76 I ran their Manager 30 system, which did have a nice display, and it was really handy to be able to see sort of what power's coming in, what power's going out, how much solar, what your products are actually drawing off your battery system. Now the RedVision just takes that to the next level. So I'll run you through the system real quickly what it is. We got the RedVision display tucked in nicely here to the nice height, really easy to see and use. Then we're running the Manager 30 system along with a 50 amp BC-DC. So we're actually pumping 80 amps straight off the alternator, straight into our 240 amp lithium battery that's all tucked in there nice and neatly. Now we've got the TVMS, which links up with the RedVision, and one of my favorite things about this, guys, is it just puts all of your switching in one spot. I absolutely hate seeing leads and cords and bits and pieces running everywhere. It's a bit of a pet hate of mine. So the way we've managed to contain TVMS, the Manager 30, we've even got a 2000 watt inverter tucked in behind there, and the BC-DC, it's all neat, it's all out of the way, nothing can get damaged, but I've still got good visibility. For instance, on my TVMS, if any of my fuses blow, nice little red light comes on and I'm able to figure out exactly what the problem is straight away. But getting back to the actual RedVision display itself, guys, now taking it that one step further from your standard Manager 30 screen, it allows you to do a lot of your switching. So like I was saying, we've got lights absolutely everywhere. We've got lights on both sides of the canopy doors. We've got lights on the back of the canopy, the side of the canopy. I'm able to control all of those straight from this one control panel. So instead of having to walk around and turn lights on everywhere when we get to camp, it's quite easy. I rock up to camp, first thing I do is open up, I turn my side camping lights on, I make sure both canopy doors are on. Now I do have the ability to either lock these on or off. I'm pretty lucky that all of my switching, my lights in the canopy doors are on dimmers, which is pretty cool. So I actually lock my lights on full time and I use the dimmer switch up here to control it. Now the benefits of that is I can go orange, white, whatever it might be. So they're the only two switches I have external from the actual RedVision display. So let's have a quick look right now at exactly what I control off the RedVision system. Basically, this is what happens when I rock up to camp. Canopy door goes up, I come straight into the RedVision. I normally turn the power to my water tap on, which means my pump's on and the water's pressurized and it's there when we need it. I've got my little 12 volt oven on the other side. I'm able to turn that on and off from here. Now the camp lights, I love that I've got all of my lighting switching in one spot except for a couple of dimmables up on the door. So the lights get turned on as well for when we're pulling up at camp. Then depending on what we're doing, if we're having dinner and I'm cooking on the induction, or it's lunch and we're cooking on the toasted sandwich maker, I use the 2000 watt inverter a lot in this truck. So my inverter switch is on the home page as well, along with another set of lights which are on the back of the canopy that I don't use quite as often. That's the main home screen as far as the switching goes. As soon as I look at the screen, I'm able to see straight off the bat how much battery percentage we want, and that's the main one that you're obviously always looking and checking. It's sitting at 100%. This system basically always sits at 100%. I'm very, very lucky that not only are we pumping 80 amps straight in off the alternator, but I've also got 300 watts, 250 watt REDARC panels up on the roof there. On a good sunny day, I'm getting at least 22 amps off the panels, which is absolutely awesome. So the fact that this car sits at 100% all the time is what we wanted, especially having those big appliances draw sort of 100 odd amps when you know, coffee machines, toasted sandwich makers, all those fancy little carry-ons, but definitely creature comforts for when you're living on the road. The other thing, guys, that's on the homepage here is the water tank level, which is super easy to see. I think it ends up being about 5 or 6 sort of gauges. It's actually empty at the moment because we used it all, but being able to see how much water level you've got in your tanks left, there's sort of the two main things. You open your canopy door, how much water I got, how much battery power I've got. If you want to get into more depth, you can scroll across on the RedVision screen here and I can see exactly how much power is coming in, how much power we're using, and it'll even give you a bit of an idea of how long you can sit in that one spot drawing that amount of power. Once the sun comes back out and you're pumping in, I can see how much solar's coming in, and then we turn on those heavy appliances, I can see that draw going out. So it just gives you that ultimate satisfaction knowing how long you can sit in one location. If your battery's starting to get a little bit low, you don't quite have the solar and you know you're not going to move for an extended period of time, you can sort of adjust what appliances you're going to use or don't use to be able to sit there for as long as you sort of need to. Basically from here, this is kind of what I leave locked on all the time. So it's all my 12 volt outlets. I've got USB and cigarette plugs spread throughout the whole vehicle, so I always have constant power to them. My fridge, it's locked as well, so the fridge has constant power. With the RedVision screen, you are able to adjust it to suit your specific needs. So you can adjust the home screen for the things you want. You can have certain appliances left locked on. You can have them so you've got to turn them on and off. It is a great interface in the fact that you can really customize it to suit your camping and touring setups. All right, guys, well, I tell you what, over the last 12 months, I could not be happier with the way this 12 volt system performed. The RedVision is an absolute must, in my opinion, for a touring vehicle, and it will definitely be going in any of my future touring builds. Reliability, guys, simple to use, everything in one spot, like I keep saying over and over again. And the best part is, Australian made, Aussie company. It's always great when you can back a Australian supplier. Now look, guys, if you're planning your next big build, make sure you do check out REDARC, specifically the RedVision system. It will change the way you sort of get out there and camp. Till next time, make sure you get out and enjoy the Explore life.